Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it anymore. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought didn't in my mind to an easy time. Turn towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and fun. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end.
I've got the Mach Ones, the Mini Mach Ones, running again. They were shutting down my receiver because of a problem that it was just bad workmanship. So I fixed it. I was apparently shorting out the crossover against the sound deadener, the foil backing of the sound deadener. So I fixed that. I've been listening to these speakers all day and got some kind of rough listening impressions. They sound pretty good with the exception of they really don't have much high end at all. I did run a frequency sweep and I'll put the result in the video, but basically there's almost no high end on this. Almost like the tweeter is just not cutting it. So even though it's working again, it's a piezo tweeter and it's just, it doesn't have enough high end. So what I've done is I have mocked up a makeshift tweeter. And what I did, I bought 4 of these horns, these piezo horn tweeters. So I just took and cut off the actual piezo driver, which looks like this, almost like a Christmas tree light. And then glued on here with ABS glue a RCA tweeter that came out of these STS 1230 3-ways that I'm redoing. And I've got those back upstairs, so I've got to jump back on this project. That aside, with these tweeters, so this is what the inside of this one looks like. It's not going to be as powerful, or it won't handle as much power as the piezo, but this is the piezo driver that comes out of it. Now the thing that looks like a Christmas tree bulb is actually, I think that's like a phase cap to try to give it a little bit better dispersion or something. The inside of it actually looks like that. So just looking in there, it looks almost like a miniature speaker. But I mean, it is hard. So that's not, it's not like a paper speaker. That's a piezo, but it's huge. It's a big one, probably 2-inch. But it would probably work okay for mid-range, but it's not a tweeter for sure. It simply does not have any high end. And the sound pressure level rating that they, advertise it at, 94, I have a rough time believing that too. So what I'm going to do is I absolutely know, regardless of which direction I go with the woofer, if I keep this one or if I change it, I've got to do something with the tweeter. So I figure what I'll do is take a high frequency response curve from the Piezo horn tweeter and then swap it out with this one and do the same thing and kind of get some listening impressions as well. This woofer, it's actually a mid-bass, a pro mid-bass driver. And from what I measured earlier off of a full frequency running that Dr. Mix thing off of YouTube, this should have about a 48 hertz low end on it. I'm going to be running the Dayton Omni Mic and the Omni Mic software, so I'll get a better indication of that. But with room gain and everything, it was reaching 48 earlier. So that's a market improvement over the stock woofer that advertised as their long throw woofer. So let's get going then. I'm going to run the frequency sweep with the Piezo tweeter. It does have the 8 ohm resistor that's bridged across the positive and negative. So that presents an 8 ohm load to the crossover, because it does have 2A crossover. So we should be crossing over okay, but I'm just not getting any high extension. And I want to see how that actually looks on a frequency response graph, because I have a feeling that this one should go higher despite it being in a horn. The horn's going to throw it off a little bit, but we'll see what it looks like. All right, let's get going with the frequency sweeps. Short sweep with no bass. Well, based on that, I can kind of see part of the problem is this: after the crossover, it gets pretty choppy by over, like plus minus 10 dB beyond like 5,000 hertz. So it gets really wonky through here. And I don't know if that's the Piezo doing that or the horn doing it. Not many Piezos don't have horns, but all the different horn shapes they can attribute to a different kind of a response too. So it could just be a really bad response type horn, but I want to see what it looks like with the RCA tweeter in there as well. All right, let's try a bass sweep now. Roughly 70 hertz. So that's not so awful bad. I mean, that's kind of where the original one was at too. Let's do a full sweep. The full sweep doesn't look quite as bad, and it even shows that it's got a little bit deeper bass, around 64 hertz, say at the reference level. So basically I'm going to be trying two things. One is I'm going to try the tweeter, and then two, I may also try to open up that port on the back just to see what happens. Actually, maybe I'll go ahead and open up that port first, because I've got a foam insert in there right now. I want to see what it does without the foam insert. So I just took out this port bung. We're going to rerun this with the port bung out to see where we come up with in the bass region. difficult to say. I'm gonna have to compare these two. All right, so that's with the port bung. And that's without. With. And without. All right, so the without, let's focus on this area right in here. Without the port bung, the port wide open, we're getting, looks like 64 Hertz at our reference level. And it peaks at roughly 80. Yeah, it's roughly 80. Now with the port bung in there, this was our curve. Well, we still had about the same reference level, but I think that, let's see, we were actually up at 80. Right in this area. Let's see how that looks compared to the other one. It's almost identical. Really close. This area here seems to get sucked out with the port bung. All right, so I just want to show you something that I noticed between the two. So the sweep that I took at 5/16, that one was with that port bung in. And what I want you to pay attention to, I was looking mainly in here, but what I didn't really look at too close was this area. Watch how this changes. It's not drastically, but it gets more, just a little bit more erratic through the mid base. So this is the area I'm talking about, right in here. So that's without the port bung and with it. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit more bass. With actually a steeper roll off with the port bung in it. So that's without, and here's our roll off, and then here's with. If we look at this area in here, that's without, and that's with. No, this is without, and that's with. Without, and with. So having the port bung out actually does increase the bass just a little bit, just a tiny bit over having that in there. Now, as far as the rest of it's concerned, let's look at this area all the way from 4,000 to say 200. So from here to here is actually very, very flat, very respectable. That's with the port bung. And then here's without. So again, just a little, I mean, it's not quite as tight. So honestly, I think that I would take the accuracy throughout this range, which is shown with the port bung, as opposed to the more erratic mid-range and mid-bass, just to achieve a little bit tiny more on the bottom end. Because these speakers, to sound really good, you'll need a subwoofer anyway. So yeah, that I would take the flatness. See, this is without the port bung. And this is with it. So it's just a little bit tighter through that area with it. So I know I can leave that in there now. It's got different size terminal ends, so I need to make an adapter. All right, well, let's see how this one sounds with the RCA tweeter inside of there. Wow, well, I think it already sounds better.
Come join the fun, it's a merry-go-round. Everyone's dancing, their troubles away.
All right, let's do this. I'm gonna run the RCA tweeter in the horn, see how it compares to the original piezo tweeter horn. And therein lies the tale of the tweeters. Wow, what a difference. So this is that RCA tweeter. And let's get back to where we can see the other ones. All right, so that's the RCA tweeter. And that's the piezo tweeter. All right, so this is our piezo tweeter, kicking in here right at the crossover. And just doesn't have the output it needs. And here's the RCA tweeter. Quite a significant difference. Picks up that high end quite nicely. And honestly, it's not even super horrible from what I would expect from a cheap horn. And ready to take some tests. Now, I'm going to point with my remote control. The speaker on the left is the one that's got the RCA modified horn tweeter. The speaker to the right has got the piezo tweeter. So we're going to do full sweeps. This will be the left speaker. And again, my primary purpose of that was so you couldn't see inside the cabinet. It does change the bass response slightly. Oftentimes, in my experience, it makes it a little bit deeper, a little more solid sounding. It's almost like a hybrid bass reflex. So let's go ahead and do a full sweep on the left speaker. So they're both identical now, except one of them has the RCA tweeter. One of them has the piezo tweeter. So that's our left speaker. And that's our right speaker. Let's check them out and see what they look like. This is our right speaker. And that's our left speaker. Right speaker, left speaker. So looking at that, I'd say the RCA was a huge improvement. Putting that little tweeter in there. Let's just do a little bit of listening, okay? I know this is the part I always get lost on, and I am so sorry about that. I love listening. Oh, but first I need to switch out that other tweeter. Sounds so much better.
I've never seen you looking so lovely as you did tonight. I've never seen you shine so bright. I've never seen so many men ask you if you wanted to dance. They're looking for a little romance. They've given off a chance. And I've never seen the dress you're wearing, all the highlights in your hair that catch your eyes. I have been blind, a lady in red. Is that same with me?
Sounds really nice.
Tick, tick. There's nobody here.
Wow.
It's just you and me. But I only know
Yeah, they sound really nice. Let me get you up tweeter level.
never forget the way you look.
Sounds really nice. I'll show you what happens with the subwoofer on. That's with the subwoofer going. It's a negative 10 dB on analog, playing at
There
Natural
was
Beat
a
Records.
boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very
It's negative 5.
very far over the land and sea.
They're smooth. Wow.
A little shy and very wise was he. And then one day,
This is a negative 5, so this is very,
one magic day,
it's pretty loud.
he passed my way. And as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing
And that's with the subwoofer going.
you ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
And that's without.
There was a boy, a very, very, very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far over land and
someone to the test when I thought I got the best. Until the taste of bitterness, then I regret. But still I won't detest.
Subwoofer.
I can't forgive.
Fill that bottom end.
Like someone else. Love in your eyes, sitting silent by my side, going on, holding hands, walking through the night. Hold me up, hold me tight, lift me up to touch the sky, teaching me to love in hearts.
Don't you feel get cold in the winter day?
tell me how long, baby.
So clear. And don't you know it's kind of nice? It's love that lasts forever.
Now this mountain endless climb feels like the world upon my shoulders. Through the clouds I see the love shine. It keeps me warm as life grows colder. In my life there's been hurt and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. Can't stop it now. I've traveled so far. Changed this lonely life. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. My heart's all tangled and my tongue it's tied. It's crazy.
Let's play something that we were playing before so that we can compare them. I'll try to slip in a video of each. I'll go ahead and turn the subwoofer off. Put this at negative 15. Ooh, negative 15 is a little loud. Yeah, we'll try the Tracy Chapman song, I guess. See how loud we should go. All right, I'm gonna try negative 20 to start with and then work my way up, and we'll see what the phone can handle. Negative 20.
Done so many things wrong. I don't know if I can do right. Done so many things wrong. I don't know if I can do right. This point in my life, done so many things wrong. I don't know if I can do right. I see it's been a hard road, the road I'm traveling on. If I take